Okay, so here we're going to graph inequalities on a coordinate plane using the x and the y axis and all those points. First, we're going to look at specific cases. So this inequality or graph should ring a bell. Anytime you have an equation with no y value, meaning x is equal to some number, that is going to be a vertical line. So again, I have videos on this that explains the whole vertical horizontal thing. So that means this is a vertical line where x equals 9. So we're going to draw a vertical line where x is 9. So the reason I use the dashed line is because we're using less than or greater than. So if the inequality is not equal to, we use dashed lines to show that 9 is not going to work in our solution. So then we have to shade this. So in this case, our inequality says x is less than 9. So if our inequality says less than, we're going to shade below the line. Now when you have a vertical line, this doesn't make sense. So what you're doing is you're shading for numbers that are less than. So you're shading towards smaller values. And if we're only looking at x's, you're specifically looking for smaller x values. Well, 8 is smaller, 6 is smaller, 4 is smaller, 2 is smaller, all those, which means your graph is going to go in this direction. So all these points on the left side are going to have smaller x values. The y values don't matter in this case. So that's how you would graph your vertical line. If you have a similar problem where you're asked to graph y is, let's say, greater than or equal to 4, you would go to where y is 4. That would be, instead of a vertical, that would be a horizontal line. So the reason that's solid is because if you're using an inequality that has an equal sign, we use a solid line to graph that. Now this example has a greater than inequality, so we're shading above the line. This makes sense for a horizontal line, but if it's greater than, you're pretty much shading larger values. And if we're talking about y's, the larger values are above because they go up and down. So that would be the graph for y is greater than or equal to 4. So they're vertical and horizontal lines just shaded using these rules.